back to the starting point, which is why is it okay to do this at all to human beings? So when you think about the history of science, in particular the history of natural science, that humans come into this pretty late in the mix. Um, and so the notion of using human beings solely as a means to an end, and this is Hans Jonas's thing, um, is troubling. That we're used to, I mean, that's sort of the justification for things like slavery. We could use human beings as a means to an end. After all, if you don't have slaves in the South, it'll destroy the economy. It's like that's the argument for slavery, is human people as a means to an end. Um, so the idea of taking people and manipulating them in ways to learn stuff that will help other people is really a pretty extraordinary thing. It's when you really stop and just think about it that way. So why is it okay for someone to put a needle in my liver when I don't need it, even if I say it's okay to do? So we know that consents to maiming are not licit. We know that consents to homicide are not licit. Why is consent to this? So you have this so there is a difficult question to begin with about why is this ever okay? Um, and the answer is always consequential, right? That's the answer because we need it. Um, and I guess that's sort of the best we could do now. The question in regulating it, and we do need it. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm in favor of polio vaccine. It's like a good thing. I'm in favor of advancement of science and health and welfare. Um, Part of it is, though, is what we do really vetted enough to know whether or not the advancement can actually justify using human beings as subjects. And the the other thing is that it's good to let people know that they're doing something for the community, even at their own risk. That's like a good thing, which is why informed consent is important. That they need to know that they're doing it for a community, that they're not doing it for themselves. So in a sense, I mean, the way I view it is that human subjects, at least human subjects that consent, um, are gift givers, that they give gifts to the rest of us. That's why they should get thank you notes, by the way, in my um, my new regulations. That you give us something, we're going to thank you. And but you can't be a gift giver unless you know that that's what you're doing. Right? If you think you're paying a debt instead of giving a gift, then you're not giving a gift. So the notion that that has come up in some writings that people should be obligated, right, to be research subjects is like entire nonsense. It's like a ludicrous perspective as far as I'm concerned. It's not worth even discussing because people aren't obliged to give gifts. What makes it a gift is that it's voluntary and that it's heartfelt. So for an investigator to go into a potential subject's room and say, I'm here because I'd like to do you. I want you to do me a favor. I know that a lot of people who come through this door are people who aren't here to do something for you, but I'm really here to ask you to do something for me. Um, Changes the entire nature of that relationship. It's not, let me make believe I'm going to do something for you. This may cure your whatever, right? Even though everyone knows it's not going to cure their whatever. So the change in the human interaction between saying, I'd like you to do, I would really be appreciative if you do this to me. Um, it puts the subject in control. The subject should be the one who is in control. And it treats the subject with utmost um, respect by saying, you can make a contribution, and that's what it is. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine too. That they're selling Girl Scout cookies, essentially, although the Girl Scout cookies taste better.